Okay. Good morning, students. Today we'll be starting with the new topic, that is solving of equations. We are on page number 117, the left hand side. The first method which they have given us is solving by trial and error method. Now what is in this method? We have to evaluate the expressions of both the sides on equal to, that is the left hand side and the right hand side, for the different values of the variable until we get a value which satisfies the equation. So for the reference, I have taken example number 13 of the textbook. You can have a look. Solve 23x is equal to 92. Now as I have taught you earlier, 23x is the left hand side and 92 is the RHS. So I mentioned it, 23x is the left hand side and RHS is 92. Now we have to put the value until we reach till 92. So in place of x here, I will put 1 and multiply it with 23. See, I have taken x is equal to 1 and I have multiplied 1 with 23. I get 23 is the answer, but I am not able to reach till 92. So this condition does not satisfy. Now taking the value of x is equal to 2 and I put it again in 23x. So 23 multiplied by 2. I get my answer as 46. But again 46 is not equal to 92. So hence x is equal to 2, also not possible. Then let me take x is equal to 3. I multiply 23 with the 3 here. I get my answer as 69. But again 69 does not satisfy 92, or it is not equal to 92. Hence it is not the right equation and the right solution. Now let me take x is equal to 4. When I multiply 4 with 23, 23 4s is 92 and 92 is what is on the right hand side also. So when I take the value of x is equal to 4 and I put in this equation, I get my LHS is equal to RHS, the both which are 92. So when I take x is equal to 4, I get my answer as on the right hand side also. So this is by the method of trial and error. Now we move on to the next method, that is solving by inspection. When we say solving by inspection, means just by looking at it, you can come to know that yes, when we put this method and this technique, we can very well get the answer. Okay. So directly we'll start with sum number 14. 14a. Now you can see the sum is, the question is like 10 plus x is equal to 20. Now the purpose is we have to get the value of the variable. The variable here is x. So I need to get the value of x over here. You can see I have drawn a arrow sort of a thing here. You can see. It means that 10 is taken onto the other side of equal to. If you remember, students, I had already explained you people earlier that when you take any number on the other side of equal to, the value, its sign changes. So here 10 which was plus, yes, you can see down over here, it has gone to the other side of 20, the right hand side, and it has become as minus. So x is equal to 20 minus 10. I will get my value of x is equal to 10. Let us take example B. 12 minus y is equal to 5. As you know, we have to get the value of y. So when you have to get the value of y, your variable should not be negative. So what will I do? You can see again I put up an arrow. Y goes on to the other side of equal to. So y becomes positive. As you can see here, y becomes positive. And 5, I'll take it onto the left hand side. So 5 which was positive now becomes minus. So you can see 12 minus 5 is equal to y. So 12 minus 5 is what? 7. So I get the value of y is equal to 7. Similarly, when you have the next one, 8m is equal to 24. Yes, I have again to get the value of m. So what will I do? I'll keep the m constant over here and I will take this 8 below 24. I will take this 8 below 24. So it becomes 24 upon 8. 8 1s us and 8 3s us. I get 3 as my answer, and that is the value of m is equal to 3. And the last one in this, D1. P is to be divided by 3. That is on the left hand side, and then I have as 10 here. P upon 3. when it is p upon 3, I can always take 3 and multiply it with 10. You can see here I've shown it with the arrow. 3 gets multiplied with 10. So p remains constant here, p is constant here. 3 multiplied by 10, I get the value of p is equal to 30. So this is how you get your answers, by using the method of inspection. Okay, we continue further with the next topic, that is solving the equations now by the inverse operations. We are on page number 117. We start with that, page 117, but again you need to turn the page quite fast enough so that we are on table number, the next table, which is on page number 180. These are the operations: plus, minus, multiplication and division. Now in this method, what are you supposed to do? Here in this method, first, as I mentioned it over here, you can see we are supposed to be isolating the variable. We have to separate the variable. How? See, the inverse operations. Now we again get back to the method. Whenever there is a plus sign, we have to put a minus sign. So we get it becomes reverse. Whenever there is a minus sign, we have to take a plus sign. Whenever there is a multiplication sign given in the question, we have to divide it. And whenever there is a division sign, we have to multiply it. So in short, the equation has to be balanced and the variable to be isolated. This becomes very easier and clearer when we solve on with the examples. Each one of you should be there and having your eyes onto example number 15. I'll read the question. Solve the following equations by inverse operations. Now I told you, you need to remember the box very thoroughly. I repeat again, whenever there is a plus sign, a minus to be put. Wherever a minus sign, there a plus has to be used. In place of a multiplication sign, we have to divide. And wherever there is a division sign, we have to multiply. Okay. So sum number 15a. There are 4 sums in all. We'll start with the first one, 15a. Now you can see there is a number here that is a constant, 48 here, plus y, which is a variable, and on the right hand side we have 87. Now I said whenever there is a plus sign, yes, we have to get a minus to it, or we have to get a number, rather we have to leave this as alone. We have to isolate it. So if you can see, this two are on the left hand side and this is on the right hand side. Now if I have to, this is plus, it remains as it is. Now if I have to bring a 0 over here, what will I do? I will put a minus 48 here. You can see 48 minus 48 and the y remains alone. But there is one more rule. Whatever you have done on the left hand side, the same has to be done on the right hand side also. So here 48 is the same 48 over here. I have to eliminate this and keep y alone. So 48 minus 48, I get a 0 here. This is the y, and because I have used minus 48 over here, I will be using minus 48 also here. So it becomes 87 minus 48, and when I do 87 minus 48, I get 39. And now you add this to 0 plus y is y, so the value of y becomes 39. So here you can see there was a positive number and the variable had to be left alone, isolated, so we have used a minus sign. We will use all the 4 operations and you'll come to know. Now you can see the next sum, b, y minus 70 is equal to 100. Now there is a minus 70 over here. So as per the rule, what did I say? If y minus 70 remains as it is, and we have to use plus 70 over here, because there is a minus 70 over here, so we have to use a plus 70 over here. If we are using plus 70 on the left hand side, then we have to add the same on the right hand side as well. So minus 70 and plus 70 will become a 0, so it becomes y minus 0, and 100 plus 70 will become 170. So I get the value of y is equal to 170 as my answer. You can see here it was minus, so as per the rule we have taken plus. Above equation it was plus, so we had taken minus. Now let us move on to the next sum, c. 51y is equal to 204. Now if you know, it is multiplication, 51 into y, it is multiplication, so we have to divide, because we have to keep y isolated. So 51 here, so I will divide both the parts. Here 51 is already there, I will divide it this part by 51 and 204 also, right hand side also I will divide by 51. Now this 51 and this 51 gets cancelled. So you can see I've struck it off. We just remain and we just get y. And now 51 ones are and 51 fours are. Yes, we get 204. So we get 4 on the top as the numerator, denominator we have 1. And this is just y. So the value of y remains as 4. So this is when we use, we have the multiplication, so we have divided it. And now the D part, you can see it is y upon 8. It is division. So what are we to do? We have to multiply. You can see here y upon 8, it is the same. I have to multiply over here also, so 8 and 8 gets cancelled, and this 8 will be multiplied with 33 also. So I will have 33 into 8. 33 8 is 264. So hence the value of y becomes y is equal to 264. So you can see these are all the sums solved by using inverse operation. I repeat once again, plus we have to use minus. Wherever there is a minus, we have to use plus sign. Multiplication, we have to be using a division sign, and wherever there is a division, there we have to be using the multiplication sign. Okay students, so now we continue with the further topic, that is solving the equations by the method of transposition. We are on page number 180. This method of transposition is very much similar to the method of inspection 1 which we have done earlier. What I have to remember, I have just put down a general rule. Whenever there is a plus sign, it becomes as minus. When it goes on to the other side of equal to, the plus sign, it changes to the minus sign, and vice versa. The minus will become a plus. Whenever there is a multiplication sign, the multiplication will change to division, and vice versa. Division will become multiplication. To explain this very clearly, we'll take the help of example 16. Example 16 also has the 4 sums in it. The first one, minus 74 plus z is equal to 26. Now you know very well that these two are the constants, and we need to find the value of z. So what will I do? Just by observing, I have an idea that this is minus. So I have shown an arrow also, you can see. I will take this onto the other side of equal to. So this will become plus 74. You can see in the next step. 26 is as it is. This was minus 74 which has gone down to the other side of equal to. So has become plus 74. I add the two and I get the value as 100. So z is equal to 100. B. Minus z plus 20 is equal to minus 50. Now you can see there is a minus z here. I told you we cannot have, and we would not prefer to have the variables into negative. So I will shift the z over here. So z will become what? Positive. You can see I have written and I am showing it to you here. The z has become positive. So I take the two constants together. Minus 50 which was on the right hand side, I will take it onto the left hand side. So minus 50 becomes plus 50. 20 is already there, so 20 remains as it is. This minus 50 has become plus 50, and minus z has already become z. I add the two and I get answer as 70. So the value of z for me is 70 in this sum. I get z as equal to 70. Now as per the rule, when we have the division sign, you can see over here z upon 15 is equal to 20. When the division sign is there, I told you what are we to do? We have to multiply. So this 15 will be multiplied with 20 and z remains as it is. Z is here as it is. 20 the same here. I said division sign is here, so multiplication. So 20 multiplied by 15. What do I get as the answer? 300. So the value of z is equal to 300. This is what I get as my answer for sum number C. And the last one today, minus 1408 is equal to 64 z. I told you 64 multiplied by z. Now there is a multiplication sign here. It is not shown, it is not seen, but 64 into z is there. So we know that this is multiplication. So what are we to do? We have to divide. So you can see in the solution, minus 1408. I keep the z constant here and I take 64 underneath minus 1408. So you can see 1408 upon 64, and then 64 ones are and 64 22 times. Yes, okay, but here there is a minus sign, so the answer will also be in minus. So the value of z is equal to minus 22. Hence I get the value of z is equal to minus 22. Yes, so with this I finish off the explanation of the sums using the method of transposition also. Earlier, if you remember, just to recapitulate, we have done equations by trial and error method, by the method of inspection, using inverse operations, and now by the method of transposition. So now only 2 topics remain and we will be finishing off with our lesson. Okay, so fine, with this I end my session today over here. Thank you all, goodbye and God bless.